This just into CNN. Florida once again breaking its daily death record, reporting 216 COVID-related deaths. Yesterday, the Republican governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, has repeatedly defended Florida's aggressive reopening and is pushing for schools to reopen in the fall. Also in Florida, one mother is suffering as a result of the worst tragedy a parent can face, the death of your own child. Coronavirus took the life of her daughter earlier this month. Samantha Diaz, known as Sammy, here, who was a healthcare worker who loved taking care of other people, including her 3 children. But last month, she started feeling ill, and so she was soon hospitalized with COVID, and Sammy died on July 10th, just 9 days of what would have been her 30th birthday. And now Diaz's mother is left to take care of Samantha's 3 children, 2 of whom also got COVID, her 16-month-old and her 2.5-year-old, and thankfully they are all now negative. But Samantha's mother, Anadelia Diaz, is with me now. And so, Ms. Diaz, I am so sorry for your loss. Thank you so much for being with me. Just first of all, how are you doing right now? And how are Sammy's kids health-wise?
Well, I'm doing okay as expected. I have 3 children to take care of, so I have to be strong for them, but I'm empty inside, and the children are doing good. The virus is out of their system. They seem to be doing okay. They're eating fine. They're sleeping fine, but missing their mother, of course. They see pictures and they know that's mommy.
Let's talk about mommy. Let's talk about your daughter. And I appreciate, I know this is profoundly difficult for you, but I appreciate you coming on to just share the story. So Sammy was a medical assistant. It's my understanding she wanted to eventually become a nurse. You know, she worked during the pandemic. She took on extra shifts. And so one day she calls you and says, I have a scratchy throat. I think it's allergies. Anadelia, what happened next? How quickly did Sammy decline?
Very quickly. This was on a Monday. By Wednesday, she was already running a temperature. She went and got tested. On Thursday, she found out that one of her coworkers had tested positive for the COVID. Within a few days, she couldn't control her fever, body ache. On Tuesday, June 23rd, she ended up in the hospital because her oxygen level had gone underneath 90. It was at 83. And she was in the hospital regular room for about a week. And then she was put in ICU. And around July 1st, she was put in ICU. And everything went downhill from there. They tried everything to try to to better her, but everything they did was just impossible. The more they did, the more she was pulled away from us.
And I know off the top you said you're feeling empty inside, but I'm thinking about these 2 little ones who I know are itty bitties, but at the same time, they have to know that their mom is gone. Like they're, it's my understanding, that they would cry because they miss their mother, and then, they were sick. But then
Yes.
You couldn't hug them.
No, I couldn't hug them. We had to double mask. I stayed in the bedroom with them most of the time. And they would cry, runny nose, coughing, a lot of body ache. And I just prayed for the best, and I prayed to God to help me through this. And thank God he heard our prayers, because we all are negative now and the children are doing fine. But it was a nightmare that I don't wish it on anyone. On top of losing my daughter, having to go through this with my grandkids, babies.
I hear one of them, I think. I
Yes.
can't even begin to imagine. And so suddenly, you lose your daughter, you're caring for her babies. And then on top of it all is you're obviously needing to put food on the table for all these little extra mouths. You, though, needed to quit your job as a housekeeper because why?
Well, because one, I'm scared to take them to daycare, because children are asymptomatic sometimes, and I'm just afraid for them to bring something to us. And my Sammy didn't get away with this, but I mean, we were lucky that we did, and we're still here. And I don't want anything brought to me and or my family, and I want to be able to be here for them because they're babies, and it's just very scary out there. So.
Anna, I had read off the top, like the new, Florida keeps breaking its daily record of these COVID deaths. And I had read that do you still believe that Sammy would be alive if Florida had fully shut down?
Most definitely, yes.
Wow.
She would still be alive if Florida would not have reopened. We were not even in the first phase of this pandemic. And look at the numbers now, Of course, yes, I think she would still be here. Most definitely, she would still be here.
Anadelia, I appreciate you being on. I appreciate you being so candid with your emotions, and hopefully, people who are watching you, especially in states like Florida, do take care and take those extra precautions, even if perhaps the government isn't telling them to. I do want to point out that if you are watching, if you are a generous soul, if you would like to support the Diaz family, you can do so. You can donate at their GoFundMe page, and you can find that link to that page on CNN.com. Ms. Diaz, thank you so much. Again, my condolences, and just sending you all the best, healthiest wishes to you and your entire family. Thank you.